Hey guys, got a few videos coming at you tonight, so just bear with me here. I wanted to talk about the new Coldplay album first of all, before I get into the other piece of news that I know you guys are probably expecting me to talk about. the uh, the piece of news that you know, I think most people are interested in on this channel with the new Gorillaz documentary coming out. Finally, we knew that Jamie's son was filming something during the time that they were recording Humans, and apparently he was also present for the recording of the Now Now. So it's going to be a lot like the Bananas documentary, in my opinion, just going to be part 2 of that, but I'm going to go more into detail in the next video. But for right now, I wanted to talk a little bit about everyday life. I've been pretty hyped for this album for a while. I thought the singles were pretty great when they first released a few weeks ago, Orphans and Arabesque. Yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed this thing. It's different, it's really different for a Coldplay album. I find this album to be a little bit more of a slow burn for Coldplay's first double album. There are a lot of tracks on here that don't really feature anybody except for Chris Martin. The rest of the band's probably kind of been left in the background for a few of these tracks, which is kind of odd. It's almost like they threw on some B-sides on this thing instead of some main A-sides. Some of them have like a production quality that seems really raw, where they didn't really go into much special effects to pretty up anything. Some people might be annoyed by that, with that inconsistency in tone on a few of these tracks, but I actually really enjoy that. I kind of like the raw feeling on this. You can tell that it was probably done in like one take, and if they screwed up something, they probably re-recorded the whole song. There probably wasn't any digital manipulation at all during these particular cuts, namely Broken and WOTWPOTP, whatever that track's supposed to be. I really do enjoy those tracks. I'm a Sunrise side of this album fan. Pretty much like every single song on the first side, Sunrise, just a beautiful, just magnificent, grand opening. Very kind of like puts you in a trance almost. It's just a beautiful piece of music. Really orchestral, really just vibrant, and just really cool. Just a great way to introduce this song, and it rolls right into the first track, Church, the first main track. And Church has got to be one of the best songs on this damn album. Holy shit, it's so good. I mean, like, the lyrics in general throughout this entire album, honestly, deal with a whole lot of, like, you know, being positive and loving each other, and there shouldn't be any violence in the world, and why can't we just, you know, take these guns off the street? Why do we have to keep on dealing with all of these mass shootings every other day in this country? Just, like, the lyrics on this thing are just really deep. You can really tell what he's trying to get out there. Just peace and love, man. Why can't we have that in the world today? It's just it's just an unattainable thing. The lyrics, especially the Trouble in Town, the next track after Church on this record, really delves heavily into that whole racism thing, and it's just a really powerful track. Really beautiful. Oh man, it's really epic. There's some spoken word pieces in there that kind of deal with like hatred, and it's just really powerful. There's some Coldplay is dropping some F-bombs on this thing. Finally, you could tell that they're pissed. I really like it. Daddy, the next song, I've talked a little bit about Broken before, but Broken was a really cool piece before we get into Daddy. Just like a, kind of like a, almost like a church religious kind of feeling, with like a, once again, like a really raw recording. It sounds really good. I really like the interchange between the choir with Chris Martin on there. And then Daddy, really slow song, very sad. Very emotional song. It really makes you tear up a little bit, especially when you watch the music video in comparison that they put out a few days ago. Man, it is a deep song, man. And then, of course, Arabesque. Oh, man, what an epic song with the horn section. Very powerful. Same fucking blood. Just, ooh, man, the guitar riff in that too, just a strong beat, really cool, fucking love it. When I Need a Friend, very, once again, very emotional, very grand, very shiny track. It's just really, really big. It's hard to describe this. I mean, that entire Sunrise A side of this album, just amazing to me. And then we get the song Guns, starting off the Sunset side of this double album. Absolutely love this song. Just the fast moving beat, the acoustic guitar sounds great. I love the lyrics. Just love everything about this track. Then Orphans obviously was the first major single. I really still vibe with this track. I really like that. I wanna know when I can go back and get drunk with my friends. I want to know when I can get out there and live my life the way I want to live my life. Really, really love the metaphors and the lyrics. Once again, just really, really great on this album. It's at this point of the album where things start to kind of go off the rails a little bit. I feel like the song Eco. I really thought this track sounded really pretty when it first started. I was pretty engaged when it first began, but as the track went on, I started getting a little tired of it, and it's only 2 minutes and 38 seconds, so I don't think that's a great thing. The song Cry, 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 I liked a little bit more after that, though. I kind of liked the almost kind of doo-wop 50s sounding piano in there, kind of, sort of feeling, but not really. Did kind of like that track. Old Friends also was just okay. I feel the same way about that song as I do Eco. I really liked it at the beginning, but it kind of started getting a little tedious as it went on, and once again, that track is only 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, so it just shows you how quickly those songs kind of, I don't know, teeter on being like, but they're listenable. They're good. There's nothing wrong with them at all. That instrumental cut is really, really beautiful. That Arabic track there, coming in, that kind of rolls right into Champions of the World, which when I first heard this song, I was not really that into it. I thought it sounded pretty repetitive. But I do think in the context of the record, coming there right at the end, right before Everyday Life, it sounds pretty good. I do like it more in the context of the album than listening to it by itself. Everyday Life at the end, I've seen a lot of people comparing it to the track O off of the tail end of Ghost Stories that came out a few years ago. And I can definitely hear that as well. Just a nice piano Coldplay ballad to finish the album off. And I think it's a really, really good song. So yeah, in all, this is a really down-tuned, really kind of emotional, really kind of deep Coldplay album. We're not really dealing with a whole lot of barn burners on this thing. I mean, like, you got looks like the songs Arabesque and Guns and Orphans, but other than that, most of the time, I guess Church to an extent is a little bit more upbeat, but even the upbeat songs kind of have like this really strong emotional resonance that's really, really like depressing, but at the same time extremely comforting. I feel like this album would be a great listen on vinyl in a room that's kind of like, like darkly lit, something like what I'm sitting in right now in a way, and it's like raining outside, it's like a gray day, and it's just like you put this album on your record player, you get like a hot beverage, and you're just like scrolling through, like reading the lyrics along to the album, and you're just like enjoying your comfy time with this really kind of comfy, almost depressing but uplifting album. And it's quite an experience. It's a very different kind of album that we've been getting from Coldplay lately. Head Full of Dreams is still one of my absolute favorite albums, their 2015 one. I really do like A Head Full of Dreams a ton. I don't think that album gets as much attention as it deserves. Viva La Vida is another one of my absolute favorite Coldplay albums the whole way through. Hell, even Ghost Stories is pretty engaging. Some people think it's pretty boring, but I think under the right mood and circumstance, Ghost Stories is also an amazing listen. Coldplay have really been hitting me in the right spots lately with their most recent output. Some people might disagree with that, but I'm really, really enjoying Coldplay's recent output. Is this as good? Is this Everyday Life album, double album, as good as like a Viva La Vida or Head Full of Dreams? I don't know. I say for a more quick hitting experience, I guess, or something that might be a little bit more easier to get through, I would say you'd have to go through those other albums before you listen to this. I wouldn't say it's one of their absolute best. I can't say that I like this album more than those two albums, but I do say when you're in the correct mood for it, this album might possibly feel like your favorite Coldplay album. It's really hard to describe. I don't know. It's really interesting. It's gonna be a different kind of perspective for everyone when you listen to this record. So, highly recommended, though. It's really, really good. I think it was worth the wait, and I think the teaser tracks were a good picks, I guess, for the album. It gave away the sounds without, giving away all its surprises. So, anyway, I just want to talk to you guys about that. I will be right back with another video here very soon. Mr. Money 1 2 3 5. I'll see you guys later.